Shamia didn't really like the things that Cynthia and Drew had to say about her in the episode. They talked about her Sir Twerk-a-lot antics as well in the episode. I, for one, felt seen in that moment because I do feel like Shamia twerks at unnecessary times. But Shamia says that she twerks because she's happy. I twerk because I'm happy. I twerk because I'm free. She says that people are intimidated by her light, by her joy, by her excitement, her zest for life. Sky Squad, we are back in the building and we're going to talk. Listen, is there anything that Shamia can do to get herself back into y'all's good graces? I personally like Shamia. There are just things that I think she does that are just a little bit cringe. Twerking in the rum punch meeting in front of the attorney, I don't know what he was. It just didn't in front of the family. That was I assume they're the rum family. I don't know what the people that she's gonna be working with as they're trying to get this rum made, and she's over there twerking, and it's like, not right now, Shamia, not right now. There's a time and a place to twerk, and this ain't it. And so as Cynthia and Drew literally broke that down in the scene, I was like, oh my God, I feel seen. Anyway, Shamia took that as intimidation, right? Her joy, her light, her light. And Shamia does have a lot to be joyful for. She has a great life. Actually, it's so great. I don't even know that I would even want to do this show. I mean, I just wouldn't. I mean, listen, you've got Versace on the ceiling. So who cares about this show? To be honest. I mean, yeah, I do want to be entertained, but if you got a coin, I don't even know why you want to do it in this day and age, right? But I digress. She does this interview with Virtual Realities, also posted on the No Chaser _ TV page, so you guys can see it there. She is asked about the situation where she saw in the scene, she didn't see it happen like in real time, but she saw it while watching Cynthia and Drew breaking down the Shamia and Kelly in the room situation. I've already stated in my opinion that it is up to the host to ensure that the rooms are clean and to do your due diligence to ensure that your guests have appropriate accommodations. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whether or not Shamia and Kelly, which I do think that they were a little bit annoyed about being cast aside into the pool house, somebody was going to have to be there. But my belief is this: Cynthia, I love you, but my belief is that had Porsha or Phaedra had accommodations that were dirty, I do think that there would have been an even bigger effort to ensure that. I think Cynthia might have been on her hands and knees making sure that room was clean. Okay. And I just think that something about tenure, I think it is about level of respect. I think it is about the OGs of it all. And even though they are not classically OGs, they are OGer than anybody else on the show. So there we have it. So what Shamia says about them being intimidated by her joy, I don't think it's that. I mean, I am not intimidated by your joy. I want you to be joyful. I just want you to express it differently. But maybe you cannot. Maybe twerking for Shamia is just, maybe it's an unconscious response to joyful stimuli. Like she can't, like a sneeze. Like you can't hold a sneeze in. You can try as you might, and trust me, I'm somebody who has the allergies, and I have tried everything in the book. Okay, everything in the book. And if the sneeze is gonna come, it's gonna come. So maybe for Shamia, twerking is like sneezing. It's just got to come out, and it's just got to come out of the derriere. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's it. I don't know. What I do know is that she is disappointed in Cynthia because she did think that they were friends, and she does not understand why. And the interviewer kind of takes things in this direction, why they want to make any of her issues about Porsha, because she feels like she's not bringing Porsha up to these girls. They are. And that is true. Now, granted, in the first episode, she did talk about Porsha, but it's also in regards to the response to the interview and having to go to Porsha's house after they've had such an uncomfortable reunion. I'm sure that would be uncomfortable, and she's got to express why that is. So there is going to have to be some discussion about her, but to the degree that it's happening in the last couple of episodes, it's been the girls bringing it up. So I do agree with her on that note. I get the disappointment with Cynthia. She's asked if she's called Cynthia, but she has not. She's just gonna let it play out. I personally would have been on if you think that's your friend, I would have been on the phone calling because I think sometimes I know that this is also reality TV, and as a result, friendships don't necessarily always last on these shows, as we have seen time and time again. So the breakdown of Porsha and Shamia is honestly not that different from like seeing the breakdown of Candy and Phaedra, Nene, Kim, and Sheree. We have seen it, Cynthia and Nene, Cynthia and Kenya. We have seen these things happen. Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump, which this situation with Porsha and Shamia reminds me a lot of Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump. And to the degree that I feel like these two are operating right now with a level of tension between them. But the tension is we're just not going to address it, and no one else needs to address it for us. I felt for a long time on Beverly Hills there was a tension between Kyle and Lisa that really fully couldn't be expressed. One, because I felt like Kyle really didn't want to have to be the one to do it. And she really didn't want to have to confront what she may have thought about Lisa. And I think that there could have been a little bit of, this is really my thing. How are you the favorite person at this point getting your own shows? There could have been a little bit of that. I really don't know. But I just feel like when it came down to the end for the goodbye Kyle of it all, I felt like that was something that Kyle really didn't want to have to do. I feel like she didn't really want to have to go there. So I feel to a certain degree that there's a similar situation happening here. But I, interestingly enough, feel like in this situation, Shamia feels more like Kyle to me, and Porsha feels a little bit more like Lisa Vanderpump. In that Porsha is very popular. She's very, very well liked by the fans, no matter what she does. I don't loathe that for her. I love that for her because if you can find a way to become likable, even in moments where you don't do necessarily the right things, then you are a bona fide star at this point in the world of reality TV. And it is what it is. Now, some people have it and some people don't. You know what I'm saying? Some people have it and some people don't. And it just is what it is. Angela is still mad at Shamia for laughing at something that Porsha said that Angela is still mad at. No one is clocking that. No one is talking about it. And everybody on the show is acting like, I mean, Angela is now just almost like she's anti-Shamia. But girl, you're still secretly harboring this thing for Porsha and what she said about Charles. You're still harboring it. Everyone is silent. I don't see not a comment out there about this. I don't. I really don't. And it's very intriguing to me. But it confirms something that I know. If the person is well liked, it really doesn't matter what they do, right? If the person is not liked, it don't matter what they do. You're still not going to like them. Whether they did it or not, Shamia, for a lot of people right now, she is the cause for all the ills in the world. It just is what it is. So anyway, and that's kind of annoying sometimes as a viewer because I'm like, certain things you can clearly see like, that girl ain't got nothing to do with that, but she's not liked. So, oh well, she probably did it. Anyway, that's enough of that. I want to talk about what she does have to say about Angela is that she says that things get really dark with her and Angela. Or at least with Angela. And it's something about marriage. She's surprised that Angela would say or do something when with regards to a marriage. And I don't know if it's Shamia's marriage or if it's someone else's marriage, but there is something there that gets really dark much later. It sounds like the season takes quite a bit of a turn into some dark territory as things move forward. We've got Porsha, who is basically accused Shamia of doing something similar, taking a turn with Shamia later on in the season. We know that it gets worse between Porsha and Kelly in the next couple of episodes as well. Cynthia has basically stated that she claims that she's not a part of any takedown for K. Michelle. In her interview with, I think it was the Veil Files, I think it was, she's claimed that she has nothing to do with any plot against K. Michelle. She also states that she has not seen at this point Porsha do anything to K. Michelle other than try to be there for her. But I am probably in the minority here when I tell y'all I still believe that someone has told K. Michelle something and it has given her enough evidence to put two and two together and try to figure out how to maneuver in this landmine that is reality TV. Now, y'all know a lot of times there is what we see on the show on the surface, and then there was what is, for those of you guys who don't know, there's what is going on beneath the surface. The problem with the beneath the surface things is it can't be explained right away. And now, as I go back in my mind and I think about some things with Nene now, when I go back, I would have to wonder if during certain seasons where she seemed a bit checked out, if there was something more going on beneath the surface, which now we know there were things going on for Nene beneath the surface. Some of those could have been a reaction to her behavior, but some of those were indeed real, like getting less episodes. So I just want to say, I think that there's more to this story, and I just am interested in figuring out what it is. It's hard though for the audience, and I must admit that, because if we can't see it with our own two eyes, we're either told things or we need to see things. And if we can't clearly see it, then it becomes difficult for us to really navigate that whatever the person is going through, because we have no explanation for what is happening, and thus it doesn't feel real. Doesn't feel real. But I think for a lot of us who have been in this space for a really long time, or you've operated within the confines of a reality TV show, you do also understand that there are behind the scenes machinations that do occur, sometimes perceived and sometimes real, concrete things that are happening. We've heard about this on other shows. So I just want to see this play out, and I cannot wait until K Michelle is able to actually tell us more, okay? Because nobody else is going to be able to do it right now, and because they're not going to want to give away anything, smartly so. So we're just left to kind of figure it out. All right, y'all. So we got to talk about Dr. Heavenly. She unfortunately did not win. Okay. She did not win in this congressional race. Here is what Dr. Heavenly had to say, though.
Time to thank all of the people that supported me, all the volunteers that called, all the people that raised money, all the people that helped and had hope. And I want to tell you, this is not over. We're going to come back. I've already called Jasmine Clark and congratulated the Queen. I'm sure she'll do an amazing job. I'm so proud of her, but I'm also very proud of you. We did something different. We made history, and we ran for Congress, baby, and we came in #2, and I ain't mad at nobody. Thank you guys so much again for your support. You want to say something, Dave?
Thank you all. I know you worked so hard, and we're proud of you. We love you guys for all you did with us.
I want to make sure that we all know to stand together behind Jasmine Clark, because we cannot let a Republican win. We need to keep this seat Democratic. So I want everybody to come together behind Jasmine Clark. She won fair and square, and I'm sure she's going to do a great job. But not just her. We have so many other candidates that did just a great job. Keisha Lance Bottoms. Listen, we cannot give up. We cannot give in. If they rechange our lines, if they redraw our district, we get bigger. We start motivating. We start getting together and actually strategizing to make sure that we keep our voting rights intact. Again, I'm Dr. Heavenly Cams, and this is Dr. Damon Cams, and we're going to continue to fight by giving away free dentistry, making sure we still do our health fairs, our giveaways. We thank you for everything you've done, and we're going to continue to work hard. Thank you.
Listen, I want to just congratulate her for really putting in the effort to do this, even at the expense potentially of her spot in the world of reality TV. I feel like she saw an opportunity to do something greater, and there was a calling for her to go and do this thing that no one in this space has really been doing like that. And I just have to say congratulations, Dr. Heavenly. I think it shows us that whether you like her or not, y'all, that when you have a desire to do something big, y'all, whether you have limitations placed on you or not, go out there and still try to do it. I was writing in my journal this morning. I try to write in the mornings, and I was just thinking about things that I want to accomplish. And I literally wrote in my journal, I said, I have a belief that I can't do that because this is bigger than anything else that I've ever done, or it's different, or I've never done it before. And I was like, that is something I have to change. And I think what Dr. Heavenly did, at least for me, is that it opened and unlocked a door to possibilities that are out there that maybe the dream does seem big, but maybe it's meant to be big because maybe you're meant to show someone else what is possible. She says in her caption, "We made history, and no matter what, I am proud of what we built together. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody that believed in me, prayed for me, donated, volunteered, canvassed, text, called voters, put up signs, and stood beside me through this journey. This campaign was powered by real people, and that means everything to me. I especially want to thank my husband, Dr. Damon Kimes, for every sacrifice, every late night, every prayer, every conversation, and all the time he poured into helping me through this process. Thank you to my children and family for sacrificing time with me while we fought for something bigger than ourselves. Thank you all, the fundraising team, the field team, the volunteers, and so many more amazing people that work so hard every single day. And listen, I know I'm forgetting somebody, and that's why I probably shouldn't have started naming names in the first place. But please know this: if you supported this movement in any way, I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank you. We came in second place. We beat elected officials. We beat a real movement. And most importantly, we showed that everyday people still have a voice. This is not the end. We're going to keep fighting for affordability, healthcare, education, and voting rights. We're going to stay together, stay organized, and keep pushing forward. Thank y'all for making history with me. I love y'all so much. Dr. Heavenly Combs. There's nothing else I can say that is really going to encompass anything bigger than that. So I'm going to leave you guys with that, and we will continue to do what we all need to do. Y'all know what that is. I don't even have to say it. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Oh, for those, thank you for tuning in. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that for now.